What up, what up, what up, world? It's your boy Jaystar. Back again with the full strategy show slate, man. For the week 17, last 2 weekends, man, to get this money. So let's get it. The other night, for Thursday night game, man, I almost got first place, y'all. I actually maxed out on the 50 cents last night. I want to say I was in first place 3 times throughout that game in like 3 different lineups. Just didn't hold on to the end, but still cash, pretty decent money. But man, was right there, man, to win like the whole thing. What was it, like $6,000, something like that? Man, I can't, like I said, 3 different lineups was there, and still was hanging in there to the end. I think I only ended up losing by what, 2 or something points. I needed like the defense to get like another pick, and I would have just won if that would have just happened. But let's get right into this one, man. I hope y'all did well too, though, with those notes because I kind of gave y'all like almost everybody that went off in that game for Thursday night. So as long as y'all would have stuck to the lineup that I kind of gave y'all or the people I told y'all about, y'all should have won some money there. So, but let's get into this slate week right here. Let's see what we got. So it looks like the first game we got the Arizona and Atlanta game. We got McCoy out, man. David Blau is going to start for $4,000 in a really good spot, man. It's just all going to be based on, I feel like, his receivers. If Hopkins is able to go, I definitely feel like since Atlanta plays a man defense, a 3-4 man defense. Hopkins, Marquise Brown, having those options, man, against a man defense, man, they should be able to get open for him. He should still be able to throw very well. I like Dortch too for $3,000 for a gadget player, and actually he's even a little bit more better than a gadget player. He can run some good routes too and get open on a man defense, especially against Atlanta. Get them yards, get the touchdowns. I definitely feel like David Blau is in a good spot for $4,000 to go ahead and stack with. I also even like Drake London on the other side of that game because we do know Arizona gives up, pretty good. What I want to say, let's look at these notes real quick though. They are playing against, let's see, Ritter. So we got pretty high percent, yeah, for PR ratings against them. Completion percent, they're last in the league, so the best completion percent is against them. Mid pack for touchdowns, but yards they're pretty high, and first down completions through the air too, they're high too, like one of the last teams in the league. So Drake London as a run back option there sounds pretty great. I don't really think there's anybody else I would want from that game. If you want to take shots at Algier, you can take a shot there too. Also as well as Connor, if you think they're going to get to the goal line many times, I can definitely see Connor also rushing in something. So definitely he's a good play for 7,200, I believe he is. And like I said, Algier is about like 50, 55 or something around there. Let's go right here. Let's see what is he priced at. 5,300. So yeah, that's not bad there to take him to as well. So let's see. Then we got Chicago and Detroit here. For this game, man, Fields is in a good spot just because he runs the ball. In Detroit, we know they give up the rush. They just gave up a crazy amount of yards, like 300 plus yards. So I mean, Fields, Montgomery, but I would kind of just lean more to just Fields just because I know he runs the ball very well. He did really good the first time, anyways. I like a stack with Fields and also Komet. Since Detroit runs a man defense, we know they give up the tight end. Komet's a pretty decent tight end, especially when all eyes is going to be on Justin Fields anyways. Coming, in the backfield, the linebackers could get caught with their eyes on him, and Komet could just run right past them. So I like Komet in the stack with Fields going off. Goff on the other side, though, has a pretty tough matchup. When it comes to, let's see, I believe it's like completion percent or something like that. They're decent at completion percent. The thing is, like, they give a completion percent. PR rating is decent. It's like mid pack. But the thing is, the Chicago Bears don't really give up touchdowns through the pass. They don't give up yards through the, for passing yards. They don't even give up first downs even passing. So it's a tough matchup when it comes to that for him to, to see him having a really good game. Because if they're not giving up yards, they're not giving up touchdowns, it's going to be a tough game then. So, I can still see St. Brown having a good game because it's a man defense. I know he can beat a man defense and get open for him. I just don't think I would want to have Goff as a run back option. If anything, I might want some running back since we know Chicago has given up the run. Depending, I don't really know if I would want Jamal or Swift though. Let me see. I believe Jamal, did he play decent the first matchup in Chicago here? Yeah, 11.9. Swift did. Let's see. And I know they was on the road, but it's kind of hard because their running backs don't really run a lot. If I had to pick one, it probably would be Jamal, though. Maybe he gets a rushing touchdown, so that would be my options there. Like Jamal and St. Brown probably be my best plays here. I do think though they do have some injuries to some of their receivers. Let me just make sure. I don't really want none of the receiver options on the Chicago side because none of them are proven to even beat a man defense. Um, but I thought, okay, so Reynolds, all of them are good to go. Yeah, so I would rather just have St. Brown only though. In that, if those are the choices, I know you can take a shot at Chark if you want to, but I really like St. Brown when it comes to a man defense. And let's see. So then we got Jacksonville and Houston. This is gonna be a tough matchup for Trevor Lawrence. He's been balling, like every game, but we do know what I want to say. The Houston Texans, man, they're a tough defense, man. When it comes to completion percent and let me see, I don't think they give up really much anything. PR rating is super low. Completion percent is super low. Touchdowns, they're first in the league and not giving up touchdowns through the air, man. They're last in the league, so which means they're the best team too in the league against giving up yards to passing, like passing yards, first downs. They don't give that up, so it's gonna be a tough game, man. I mean, you gotta kind of run the ball. That we know that's how, like that's where you attack Houston. So definitely, you can take let me see, for 6,400 right here, ETN. You definitely take a shot at him because we do know that's where you're supposed to attack Houston. Since it's supposed to be kind of hard touchdown, I can still see Kirk coming through from the slot. He probably has one of the more easier matchups. So for $6,000, I don't mind. If he was to try to still take a shot at Trevor Lawrence this week, I don't mind taking Kirk. I know Zay Jones is still pretty cheap. If you want to take a shot there for a man defense, going against a man defense, like I said, they are really stingy with yards and really stingy with touchdowns. So I feel like it's probably more than likely will be a stack of Kirk doing well as Evan Ingram. I can see him getting, he can probably beat his man, linebackers and stuff like that. So I definitely think Evan Ingram is probably a better play. Maybe an Evan Ingram and ETN stack probably does really well. On the other side, I mean, quarterback play is so trash. I really can't tell y'all to take anybody on that side for fantasy wise. So don't want to even talk about that. Let's move on to the Denver versus Kansas City game. This is a really great game for quarterbacks. I know for Pat Mahomes, tough, very, very tough matchup for him though. But for the other side, for Russell Wilson, I feel like for some reason I just got this feeling with the coach change and everything now, the coach getting fired. I feel like Russell Wilson and his receivers, they already came out and talked really good about him. I feel like they show up for him in this game. This is probably one of the last really good games for them in the season, and I feel that they have a really great matchup. As long as these receivers can be healthy for Judy, if he's able to go, I like Judy, and I definitely like even Sutton. I think they both show up for him. It's a man defense. They don't have Dolchich. He's ruled out. So as you see right there, having his two best weapons though for receiver is all he really need against a man defense. Like, they give up yards, they give up touchdowns, they give up first downs through the pass. PR rating is very high. It's a perfect setup for a double stack here, especially since he doesn't have some weapons out there. Like, it's just Judy and Sutton almost. So, like, I really love that with a stack for Russell Wilson. And I like, since it is Pat Mahomes, even though it is a hard, tough matchup for him, there's not a lot that Denver really gives up. On their side, let me just check what is it that they do give up, anything. Nah, everything is really bad. So we know it's really tough, and since it's really tough, that just makes me want to make sure I believe Broncos run a zone defense. So you want to have, really, really smart route running players that just get into windows in the defense. And I feel like somebody like a Juju is a great run back. And we already know Kelsey is really great at that. So it's Kelsey, Juju. And once again, you can even run back McKinnon coming out the backfield. Just, he's definitely going to be open right when he catches the ball. And then it's just getting him the ball in space because we know what he can do with that. He already killed them the last time. So any one of those three run backs, I feel like will be the best ones. I wouldn't be trying to get MVS and things like that. So then let's see, for the next game here, we got Miami and New England. This game is going to be kind of crazy to me because I feel like it can go a few different ways. It can be, New England plays really hard. They should have had their defense type of feel. Or because their completion percent is really low. I know they do a really good job at that. I believe even PR rating. Let me just make sure again though. Where are they at? They play a man defense, I thought. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, PR rating is pretty low. Completion percent is low. But the thing is, they give up touchdown percent through the air and yards through the air. They give up that, and even first downs, pass catching first downs, they give up that too. So it's kind of weird how they're like total opposite of completion percent and PR rating, but they do give up touchdowns, yards, and first downs. Really crazy. So this could be a really good game for what do I want to say, Bridgewater for $5,000. Last time he played, he had a really great game, throwing to everybody. I mean, Tyreek Hill went off, right here against Minnesota, as you see, 32.7 points. You go to Waddle right here, 20.9 points, and you can even go to Jaceki, which Jaceki has not even been in play like that. But Jaceki, Minnesota, 24, near 25 fantasy points. It was crazy. He had just a great day. So taking shots at, Bridgewater, I don't mind because I really feel that he can really have a good game still. It's a lot of cornerbacks that are out for New England this weekend. So that just like sums up that, they play a man defense. You're telling me they're going to have backup cornerbacks with Tyreek Hill and Waddle and even maybe Jaceki, getting out there. But Tyreek Hill and Waddle against some backup cornerbacks, that we seen how that played out. I believe that was the Baltimore game when they had some cornerbacks out, and we saw them put up like 40 and 30 fantasy points, or both 40 fantasy points, I believe. Let's go back. 40 fantasy points there and 40 fantasy points for right here. So it really all depends on if Bridgewater can just get the ball to them accurately. They could really go off, or maybe just one of them. I would probably lean a little bit more towards Waddle. Since we saw how Trent Irwin did, for the Bengals, he was kind of playing in the slot and was able to sneak past the defense a few times for 2 touchdowns. And I feel like that's something maybe Waddle could do. I think a lot of attention will still be on Hill, but I don't believe that he can't get off too as well because there is, like I said, it's a man defense. It's definitely Bridgewater stacks I feel like are good stacks. If he wants to run back anybody on the other side of that game, I would think Myers is a good play since Miami runs a man defense too. Myers will be a good play. Is Parker? Let's make sure. Is Parker able to go? Because if he's able to go, oh no, he's out. So okay, he's out. If you want to take a shot at Bourne, possibly, he can do good again. But I think last week that was a man defense too. So yeah, possibly Bourne could do well. But Myers is probably the best bet. If he was trying to run back option there. Also, I believe too. I think is Henry questionable still. If Henry's able to go, Miami's one of the worst teams giving up points to tight ends, I would say. And definitely we saw it. Even Mercedes Lewis, old self was able to catch a touchdown and get a big play, catch on them. So Henry wouldn't be I wouldn't mind even running him back as well too. So then let's see let's go to the next game here. We got the Colts and the Giants. It's not really much I want from this game. I do know the Colts have a very high completion percent that they give up. So if you want to still run some Hodgins or Richie James, you could take a shot there. This is a zone defense. So I'm trying to think like who's probably the best player. I would think Richie James probably has the best chance. He comes from the 49ers who ran the same type of defense with the zone and everything. So he probably has the best chance to do well. But I wouldn't also, not think of like Hodgins as well as Saquon Barkley here because we do know they have given up some points to the running backs. So definitely Saquon Barkley there. On the other side, I don't really think I want anything. Giants have a pretty tough defense, and Foles looked really bad the last game. I don't really see anything. Yeah, because completion percent is very low. Touchdowns is mid-pack. Yards is not there. First downs is decent. But if I had to take anybody, it'd probably be Pierce. That is, I believe, a man defense he's going against. So probably be Pierce. I don't really like Pittman. So definitely just Alec Pierce would probably be my only play there. Let's see. So then we move on. We got New Orleans and Philadelphia Eagles. Let's make sure Hurts. He's doubtful now. Okay, so that sucks. But Minshew did really well last game. We at least know where he's going to kind of throw the ball to at least, over and over. And, AJ and Devontae Smith. So definitely this is a tough matchup, though, because completion percent is really low. Let me see. Let's see. Where are you at? Okay, so we got completion percent. Yeah, PR rating is low. Touchdowns is low. Yards is low. It's going to be a tough matchup. I would think Devontae Smith has a better chance probably of going off, though. I just think he probably has an easier matchup than lining up with Lattimore over and over. Definitely think he could probably beat his man. Maybe he still has a good game. If you want to have a Minshew stack, you could take a double stack if you want to still try. It's just that, like I said, everything is really low on that side. On the other side, though, with Olave, if he's able to go, let's see, is he even able to play? He's questionable. Okay, hamstring still. If he's able to play, man, I wouldn't mind running that, but because Philly has cornerbacks hurt in the slot, and Olave moves all around, so I can still see him having a decent game. But That's really about it from there. And let's keep it moving. Also, I would say Dallas Goddard too, though, probably could beat his man for against the Saints. I could see him doing decent though. And Carolina Tampa Bay game, man, I believe there's some injuries at cornerback. Yeah, JC Horn is out, and then the cornerback, I forget, Carlton Davis is out for the Tampa Bay. The best play to me though, here we got, what is this? I believe these are both zone defenses. So, definitely DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore. 5,700. I don't mind taking shots there. I also think Godwin is probably one of the best plays here. If you want to take a shot at Russell Gage, you can. Mike Evans tends to do better against man defenses than against zone defenses. So definitely, like I said, Godwin probably is a good play. Maybe Russell Gage. And DJ Moore. But running backs, we've seen, some running backs get off against Carolina. So if you want to take a shot at Fournette, possibly you can there. But that's about it from that game. I don't really want to even really run the quarterbacks or stack there. It's not really a lot. But let's see. So then we got Cleveland versus Washington here. Definitely like B Rob. Definitely, especially with Gibson being out, I think he's in a great spot. Cleveland has given up some crazy yards against, for running backs and things like that. So I definitely think this is a great game for him, lining up to be. And Wentz is at quarterback this week. They are playing against, I believe the Browns run a zone defense. So I like McLaurin. I do like McLaurin. I feel like he can definitely get open in zones and stuff like that and get into windows. And then I kind of like Curtis Samuel. I think Curtis Samuel gets back on, the map with having Wentz at quarterback. We've seen when Wentz was quarterback, Curtis Samuel was getting like 12 targets a game. Like 11, 9, 10, it was pretty high, like 8 targets. Like, I think he could do well for 4,400, against his own defense like Cleveland. And like I said, maybe if not, then it's McLaurin, I feel like. So if you want to run some Wentz stacks, you want to try it out, you can definitely do that. On the other side, I don't really like anything because they are on the road, and it should have been, Cooper, Amari Cooper, but on the road we have seen his numbers. They have not shown to be good at all, to even say you can run him back. But it is a man defense. Maybe it's Peoples Jones, maybe he beat somebody deep or something on the play, so possibly something there. But that's about it. I think Njoku might be probably maybe the better play as a run back if you was to do a run back on that game. So yeah. And then let's see what we got next here. So we moving through. We got 49ers in Vegas, right? Okay, perfect. We do know Carr is out, so they're rolling with Stidham. And I think with Stidham at quarterback, man, the best play here, this 49ers run a zone defense. I would say Adams, but it's just that, man, like, I don't know. I got this weird feeling it's going to be Renfro, y'all. So I think Renfro is going to show up, play really good. He's a smart receiver. I could see him getting into windows and possibly getting a touchdown, at least if they can at least score some type of touchdown with Stidham at quarterback. I think it'll probably be Renfro. I do think Devontae still gets targets. Just think he probably gets a little bit slowed down because it is a tough zone defense that they run here in San Francisco. So, but I can definitely see Renfro popping out and catching like a short maybe touchdown, possibly getting about 80 yards in a touchdown in that game. So that's really good for $4,000. Let me see, how much is Waller though? 4,300. He's played. Yeah, he seems like he's done better against man defenses. Because he's a really good tight end. If you can't stick him man to man. So and against zone, he probably has a tougher matchup. So, but on the other side here, man, I am like excited to run Brock Purdy y'all this weekend. So I think Brock Purdy is in for a huge game. With Debo being out, I think it just puts McCaffrey. The Raiders are one of the biggest fantasy points to pass catching backs. So definitely think McCaffrey's in for a huge game. Definitely like Kittle. They definitely give up tight end too as well, and I feel like those two, Brock Purdy, stacks, sounds really great to me. And I don't think I need to run back anybody, but if I was to run back somebody, like I said, Renfro seems like the best play to me. But definitely those two. And if you want to even try, toss in a Ayuk, I think he's in a good spot, a decent spot there too if you want to take a shot there. But definitely McCaffrey and Kittle is probably my best bet there. And we're going to keep it moving here. We got the Jets in Seattle. I feel like this is going to be a really, really tough game here. Both of these defenses are really, really tough. They don't really give up nothing. They're kind of very stingy. So I feel like, if Lockett plays, I feel like he's probably one of the best plays, because it's a zone defense. I feel like he does pretty well against zone defenses, compared to Metcalf. I think Metcalf does better against man defenses. But there are a few times where, at least a couple of times, Metcalf has done well against zone defenses. But I definitely think if Lockett plays, he could have a good game. Maybe Fant does pretty decent. But also on the other side, I would say, since Seattle, believe, let me see. Yeah, they both run zone defenses. So I do like, though, for 2,900 Conklin, with White back at quarterback. I think maybe Conklin gets back in, for 2,900. I mean, it's pretty cheap, man. It's crazy that he even dropped that low to me. But also, then I do like at 5,500, of course, Garrett Wilson is back in play to me. And I know, you might, if some people might want to take shots at Elijah Moore again. Let me see. What is he priced at 3,500. Now that White is back at, I don't mind you taking shots there for 3,500. But like I said, Lockett seems to be the best play, but that's going to be a tough matchup. So then we got the Vikings and the Green Bay Packers here. This is really going to depend on if Christian Watson is a go or not, because if he is a go, I mean, I do like, him, because I know Minnesota gives up a lot of yards, but I do notice that, Minnesota runs a zone defense the same way that Green Bay, they both run same 3-4 style zone defenses. Jefferson is going to be in for a huge game, because of that. I don't think they're going to follow Jair, even though he's been talking mess and stuff like that. I don't think Jair is going to follow him across the field. If he does, it might lower a little bit of Jefferson's numbers, but if he doesn't, then Jefferson could be in for the hugest game. I mean, so definitely like him. Thielen will probably be okay. I think Hawkinson probably is a better play than Thielen. And then on the Green Bay Packers side, like, Watson is cool, but I think Dobbs is a better play. Dobbs has shown, at least the little bit of games he's played, what I've noticed, though, is like the Rams game, he had 10 points. Decent. That was his first game back. So, like, if he had been in rhythm, I believe he could have had 20 points. Because if you go to Buffalo, another zone type style defense, 16 points. New England's a man defense. He had 14, okay? But this 21 points right there against Tampa Bay, that's the same type of defense they're running in Minnesota, and he put up 21 points. When I'm looking at this, I'm just noticing in zone defenses, he does really good. So definitely feel like he's a good play. I also even like Cobb. If somehow Watson was out, I like Cobb. He's smart. I feel like he can get in windows and work really well into zone defense. If he was trying to stack a Rodgers stack, I don't mind running Dobbs and Cobb. Lazard is cool too. He's a very smart player too. If somehow Watson is out, I don't mind even taking him. But if Watson is a go, taking Watson and Dobbs, I feel like it's a great play. Just because Watson can hit off of just, 2 to 3 catches, because of the speed. But Dobbs, I feel like, will probably get the majority of, the window, like I said, like getting in the zone and getting right in the zone and being open for Rodgers. I feel like that's him. If not, like I said, if Watson is out, Lazard and Dobbs is a good play. Cobb and Dobbs is a good play. And like I said, Jefferson, and as well as, where is he at? My bad, I went past him. Hawkinson, I feel like, are good plays still. They just don't run enough, but contrarian play would be cooked. We do know Green Bay has given up the run, but it's funny because we play certain teams that throw so much that they don't even run enough to even, for their running back to get off, just like the Miami Dolphins just did. So, the run game was working, but they left it. The only team I know that doesn't leave that is the 49ers. That's why they usually kill the Packers. So, if you want to take Cousins and Jefferson stacks, that sounds great. Like I said, if you want to toss in him and Hawkinson or something like that, I think that's pretty good too. But for Rodgers, like I said, Watson, Dobbs, Cobb, it all depends on if he's going to play. I do like, for running back over here, though, I do like Dylan, man. Dylan has even done well, even if Rodgers has done good. So I do think, and another thing I've noticed over the years of being a Packers fan is Dylan has kind of always done good against the Vikings. So I think he's a good play at 5,800. Just to let y'all know that. But let's move on to this last game of the slate here. We got the Chargers and the Rams. Akers coming off of, the most craziest game ever. I don't know if he can do it again. I don't know if that was a wake-up call for him and he's going to start balling. I kind of feel like he is not going to do that again. But, who knows? He might have woke up and figured out how to finally play running back or something. But Eckler on the other end, I do like Eckler playing against the Rams. Their defense isn't the same right now, so I don't feel as I used to feel with picking running backs against the Rams. They're banged up. They're not the same. Keenan Allen, I feel like should really do well. This is his own defense. I feel like his route running style and his smarts of knowing how to get open in windows and things like that for Herbert, I feel like he's definitely in play to have a good game. Once he gets going, I feel like Eckler, Mike Williams, all of them could end up, following suit behind him. So definitely Herbert. I feel like Herbert could be in for a really big game. If I was to take anybody from the Rams, I don't really, like I said, I'm not really pushing the running back. I would more think of Higbee if he's able to go, because they do play a man defense, and I feel that he could definitely get open. Probably the best weapon they got out there, since a lot of people are hurt. It's only Van Jefferson basically at receiver, and really Tutu Atwell and almost nobody else. And those are not receivers that really are great at getting open against a man defense. So I really don't like those options there. Like I said, Higbee, but I do know they probably will run a lot more since they don't have some weapons. So if you want to take shots at Akers, go ahead. Let's see. So let's see how we gonna build this lineup, man, because we got to build the winning lineup for this week. Trying to help everybody out here. Like I said, I feel like the most easiest. Who has the most easiest matchup? But I'm trying to think. It's two ways I want to go with this weekend with building lineup. So I want to look for games where I feel that there's definitely like an obvious run back weapon that should be able to do well to keep them in the game, because the teams that are going to do, they get you the most fantasy points this weekend, I feel like, especially since we're back to a 13 game slate here, you're going to need to be a part of games that are basically, kind of shootout kind of, type of feel, but, just they kind of going back and forth. That's all. Like, they can at least go back and forth. If it's one-sided, it's going to be very hard. There will be a lot of fantasy points, of course, on that one side, but how long are they really going to keep their best players in when they only got one more week left? If they can just put it away, they'll run it, run the clock out and just run the ball. And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for games that are going to continue to throw and things like that. So I noticed, Russell is probably in one of those great spots like that. Rodgers, I feel like, is one of those great spots like that, with Cousins and things. Herbert is kind of feels like a one-sided match. I do think, maybe what I want to say, Mayfield would try, but I don't think he really has the weapons there. And yeah, like Jacksonville could be one-sided. Chicago and Detroit is a pretty good one too as well. So like three good games I feel like so far. Vegas, I don't know what to expect from them. It could just be one-sided. I love Purdy, but it could be one-sided. Even think though Atlanta game is kind of sneaky. I do kind of like that game too as well. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with Russ, y'all. I'm gonna go with Russ on this lineup. So let's see. So we go with Russ. I'm gonna take Sutton for now. Since I know he's the healthy receiver there. If I wanted to run back, I think I'm going to go ahead and run back McKinnon. And let's go with another running back here. I got to go with my guy B. Rob this week. Take some savings there. And now, let's see. Now you kind of want to pay up probably. I'm going to definitely get involved in this Vegas game with getting Kittle. I almost think I want to get their defense too as well, though. So I think I might just go ahead and take the 49ers defense. I don't know what to expect from Stidham. And like I said, they could put it away early like they did last week, and Kittle went off, and then they kind of just put the game away. Didn't even need McCaffrey. So that could possibly happen. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that scenario here. And then I think I want to get a part of this Atlanta game with Marquise Brown, I think I want to grab Marquise Brown here. Let's see, do I have enough money now to take like Jefferson? I'm just missing it. I wanted to have the run back here. With a Packers player. And that would mean I would have to take different defense. And man, that's going to be hard because I really like the 49ers defense there. Let's see, Jets defense gives me doesn't let me get there either. Patriots defense with all those banged up cornerbacks is going to be hard, but it is a rivalry and they are at home. Maybe they somehow can get some type of pick on Bridgewater, possibly, but they have a lot of, that's going to be hard to take that. Let me see, if I don't take Jefferson, who do I like besides Jefferson? Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna rock out with Keenan Allen here for a second to see what this puts me at. Go back to my defense. That's puts me right back at 7,000. It'll put me at Cook. I can put at Cook and then go with 49ers defense. I don't mind this either, though. I don't mind this. I mean, it's going to be one-sided, though. It won't be let I have a run back for the Packers. I do really want that in my lineup, so maybe I know what I need to do then. Since it seems like I have more money than what I thought I was going to have, I'm going to go ahead and take Judy. And let's see. Man, Judy is still, it's like I got so much money. And I'm still at the same spot where I can't get Watson. This is crazy. This is crazy, y'all. Building this lineup is a trip. Because I could easily take DJ Moore, but it's like, man, I really wanted something from the Packer game. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in Dobbs now. And then we can get to where we want to get to here. So then let's see. What do we have now if we go back to put Sutton back in here? Okay. Yeah, I don't mind this. I don't mind this at all. Because I got an option to take Waddle, and I think I would roll with Waddle because of those cornerbacks being hurt there. I do want something from that New England game. And I could have took St. Brown, but I think that was a harder matchup for him. It's a better matchup for Waddle. So definitely I like this right here. At least now I got something from the Green Bay Packer game late. Got something from that Chargers game late. Perfect. And I got something from that mid-tier game with the Vegas and San Fran. And I got enough more than two here. It's a perfect lineup, I feel like. So, man, I hope y'all, put this in, y'all. We win some big money all together, y'all. It's your boy Jaystar, and I'm out. Peace.